Gene X is responsible within Marvel for giving superpowers to certain humans who possess this gene in their bodies. Its origin comes from the time of the Celestials and their expeditions on Earth to experiment with the local race. Millennia later, one of the races created by them evolved and became mutants. However, the development of the race brought about changes in Gene X, allowing certain characters to receive more than one power. Usually, a mutant is born with only one ability, such as Cyclops' ability to emit energy blasts or Storm's ability to manipulate the weather. But certain characters manage to develop one or more secondary mutations, becoming even more powerful than they already are. And these are the characters we'll see here in today's video. Let's go! Number 1. Gambit. Gambit is one of the most popular mutants in the entire X-Men franchise. His powers are related to kinetic energy, where he absorbs and charges objects with that same energy. Usually, he uses playing cards for this, as they require a very short time to be charged with energy. But on one occasion, Gambit lost his vision and developed a secondary mutation. He could have brief glimpses of the future and managed to predict when bad events would occur to him. Gambit couldn't see the future itself, only predict when he was potentially in danger. Very similar to Spider-Man's spider sense. But after regaining his vision, he lost these clairvoyant abilities. Number 2. Feral Wolverine. Wolverine is one of the characters who has received more powers thanks to his genetics. He has retractable claws, super strength, regeneration, and enhanced senses. But that's not all. He has another mutation that turns him into a beast. I think everyone here knows that Wolverine was part of an experiment in which adamantium was put into his bones. The adamantium enhanced his powers, but suppressed the evolution of his abilities and took on a more bestial form. When the metal was removed by Magneto in one of the most brutal scenes in all of Marvel, his powers came to the surface. His mutation evolved to a point where his physiology changed and became more animalistic. His hair, nails, and teeth grew, and he became even more savage than his common form. Gradually, he was becoming a beast. Number 3. Emma Frost. Emma Frost didn't appear as much in movies and animations as the two previous characters, but she is a prominent figure in the comics. She is one of the most powerful telepaths in all of mutant kind, second only to Jean Grey and Professor Xavier. Her secondary mutation appeared after an attack on the nation of Genosha, the largest mutant country that had millions of mutants killed. When found under the rubble, they realized that she had not been injured because her body was now made of diamond, this being her secondary mutation. She doesn't stay in this form 100% of the time, being able to control the transformation the same way Colossus does, for example. She gains enviable resistance, super strength, and immunity to telepathy, and she has stated that she does not age when in this form. However, as a disadvantage, she cannot use her mental powers in diamond form, so she trades mental power for physical power when using this form and vice versa when retransforming. Number 4. Kitty Pryde. Movies. In the movie Days of Future Past, Wolverine has his mind sent back to the past by a young Kitty Pryde in a world that hunted mutants. The extra power she receives only happens in the movies. In the comic that inspired the movie, the one responsible for doing this is Rachel Summers, daughter of Jean Grey. And like her mother, she is a powerful telepath and sent Kitty's mind to the past. Neither Jean nor Rachel exist in the movies, and they use Kitty to shorten the path of sending Logan's mind to the past. So, this power of hers is not canonical and is exclusively from the movies. Number 5. Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane is a mutant who can transform into a full wolf, or the hybrid version between man and wolf. She is a werewolf, but she doesn't lose control and doesn't have the limitation of transforming only at night. Additionally, she has increased strength and a healing factor that allows her to recover faster than an ordinary human. Her secondary mutation made her transformations have sharper claws and fangs. Furthermore, she was now able to transform into a pack of 5 wolves instead of just one. This way, she managed to significantly multiply the strength of her powers. Number 6. Blob. During the comic book X-Men Blue, a weapon called Mother Vine was a virus that modified the genetics of characters who came into contact with it. Normal humans were developing mutations, and mutants were receiving secondary mutations. And one of the characters who received these new mutations was Blob. Many people may know him from the X-Men Evolution animation. His body absorbs any kind of impact he receives, making it almost impossible to harm him with punches and normal attacks. His second mutation allowed him the ability to stretch like rubber, which would be a great weapon since he is also super strong. Unfortunately, he couldn't use this power, and when he activated it, he turned into a living puddle, quite painfully. Number 7. Quenton. Quenton is one of several telepathic mutants in Marvel, and alongside Jean Grey, he holds the position of Omega-level mutant. Once he took large quantities of a drug called Kick, which aimed to enhance Gene X. This drug caused his power to grow explosively and awakened his secondary mutation. He made his telepathic powers so powerful that the psionic energy of his power was burning him from the inside out. To compensate for this, his mutation transformed his brain into energy faster than light and elevated Quenton to another plane of existence. He became so strong that his mutation turned him into a non-corporeal life form and connected him to all the minds on the planet. But he never knew exactly how to control this secondary mutation and lost his powers when the drug's effects ended. Number 8. Iceman. Iceman is one of the most powerful mutants, and another one who reached the Omega level. His main power is ice manipulation, strong enough to freeze hell itself. His second mutation occurred when he suffered a serious chest wound, strong enough to kill him. In this, he awakened his ice form, where he can be broken and completely reconstituted. Initially, he was stuck in this form for months until he could return to normal form and eventually learn to control it. Since then, this form has become even more versatile and powerful. He can create multiple clones of himself and transfer his mind to the body of each one, besides being able to form from water and vapor. Nothing less than an Omega-level character, isn't he? Number 9. Rogue. Rogue has always had a very big weakness regarding her powers. For those who don't remember, she has the mutant power to copy any power or ability from whoever she touches. She doesn't necessarily need to touch with her hands. Any part of her body that is touched causes her to absorb power. That's her big weakness because she needs to be in contact with someone while no one can touch her to avoid having her power drained. But she has developed a mutation where she broke this rule and could absorb powers at a distance, turn powers on and off, and control the level of absorption. She has had this kind of evolution before, but the writers didn't take this power forward and simply ignored it. I believe it's a way to maintain the balance of power since with this evolution, she would easily be one of the most powerful beings on Earth. If you enjoyed this video, help me reach at least 1/3 of Mr. Beast's subscriber count. I know we can do it. There are many nerds around here. So subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.